Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Sal Mahajan. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about versioning in S3. So in the previous videos, you would have heard a lot about versioning. You would have saw the properties related to versionings and all of that. So today we're going to be talking about versioning. So what is versioning actually? So versioning is basically wherein you are creating multiple versions of a specified object. And now you may think that, what's the advantage of versioning? Like, why do we need versioning? So there are quite a lot of advantages of versioning. The best advantage of versioning, I would say, is that if you by mistake delete an object, the object does not get permanently deleted if you have versioning enabled. It marks the object for deletion, which basically means you can still retrieve that specified object. And another use case would be is maybe you're uploading multiple versions of a specified file, and then maybe you need to retrieve a version of file that you uploaded a month back. Now, maybe in your local hard drive that file is not available, but that version will be available in S3 bucket. So these are a few, different advantages of versioning that we have over here. So let's dive right into this AWS console and let me show you guys how can you enable versioning and how can you view the different versions of your object. So you can see I'm over here in the S3 console. I'm going to head directly and click on create bucket. We're going to create a new bucket. Again, region, I'm leaving it as US East 1. Bucket type will be general purpose. My bucket name, again, test bucket, some random numbers. And we don't want to copy any settings. We're going to leave ACLs as disabled. We're going to block all public access. And now this is the part where we have to look into, that is bucket versioning. Again, you can see Amazon says versioning is a means of keeping multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. So we're going to enable this and do remember that once you enable bucket versioning, you cannot disable it. You can suspend bucket versioning, but you cannot disable bucket versioning. So do be cautious about that. And we're going to leave everything else as a default, and we're going to go ahead and click on create bucket. There you go, our bucket has been successfully created. So we created test bucket, some numbers. So you can see we have 0 objects. Now we're going to head over to the properties tab, and when you come down, or when you see over here, you can see that bucket versioning is enabled. Again, another one more advantage I would like to tell you guys of bucket versioning is you can add multi-factor authentication delete, which basically means that you uploaded some, very critical file and you don't want the file to be deleted by mistake. You can enable MFA, that's multi-factor authentication. That is a second step that is required before a file is being deleted. So that's another good advantage that you have related to bucket versioning. Now let me show you guys bucket versioning in action. So let's head over back to our objects tab and let's upload an object. So I have a test file over here. We have been using the same test file. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this test file. You can see test.txt. Again, it's 0 bytes because we don't have anything in that file. It's a blank empty file. We're going to go ahead and click upload. You can see upload successful. Let's close this tab and you can see, there you go. We have a object in our bucket. Let's go ahead and view the properties of this object. As you can see, the various different properties are there, and then you can see the third tab that says versions. We're going to go to that. We're going to go to that tab, and here is where you will be able to view the various different versions of your object. Now you can see every version will have a version ID, and also another good thing is that it will always tell you which is the current version that is available. You get other details like what's the type, when was it last modified, the size, and of course the storage class. As you can see, this file was last modified on March 6th, 2024 at 2048:08. Okay, wonderful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head back to our bucket and we're going to upload the same object once again. So we're going to go back. I'm going to drag and drop the file over here. We can see it's the same file, test.txt. It's the same blank file. We're going to click upload. That was successful, and let's close. Now you can see we only have one object, and that is because we have bucket versioning enabled. Now let's head over to this object, back to the versions tab, and now you guys will be able to see that we are having two version IDs over here. And the reason behind that is because we uploaded this file twice, or you can say we uploaded two different versions of the same object. And as you can see from the time difference, the last one was 2045 and the current one is 2046. And as I told you guys, Amazon does indicate which version is the latest or the current version. So this is basically bucket versioning, how you can enable bucket versioning, how you can upload objects and everything. Now let's take the scenario wherein you created a bucket and you did disable what do you say bucket versioning. No need to worry. You just go over to the properties tab. You can see this edit button over there. Click on that edit button and click on enable, and you will be able to enable bucket versioning. As I told you guys again, the moment you enable bucket versioning, you will not be able to disable it. You will only be able to suspend it. As you can see over here, when I'm trying to edit the bucket versioning um, for a bucket that has versioning enabled, it says you can either suspend it or enable it. And if you read the definition over here for suspend, this basically says this this suspends the creation of object versions for all operations but preserves any existing object versions, which basically means if you try to upload new objects, it will not create versions for those new objects that are uploaded or any operations that take place on them. But any objects that were uploaded prior to this suspension, it will still retain those versions. So I'm going to go ahead and click cancel because I don't want to change anything. So that's about it about bucket versioning. I hope you guys did get an understanding on what bucket versioning is, how can you enable it, that you're unable to disable it, you can only suspend it, how to view the different versions, what's the current version, and what are the different advantages of bucket versioning. So I hope you guys did like this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, do subscribe, and do comment if there are any other topics that you guys would like me to cover. I hope you guys have a great day ahead. See ya. Take care. Bye bye.